Hello everyone, my name is Saurav Kumar and I welcome you all to my video series of AWS. We have reached in part number 17 and in this lesson we are going to cover about CloudWatch. So we will be having overview of CloudWatch monitoring. Then we will do a hands-on lab on CloudWatch monitoring where we are also going to learn how to create an alarm. So these are the things we are going to finish, we are going to discuss, we are going to talk about in this particular session. So let's begin. So first thing we have to understand that when we talk about monitoring, what we generally do, where do we do monitoring? Like if I ask you, if you are a Windows user and if I ask you that go and check how much processor is being utilized in your machine, what do? You may press Control Alt Delete and you look for Task Manager, or maybe you can go to your taskbar and there you can go for the Task Manager, and in the Task Manager you see here the utilization of your processor. What are the processes running, how much total processor is being utilized, how much RAM is being utilized, how much disk is being utilized, how much network is being utilized, right? Similarly, you go to performance, it gives you the graphical presentation at what particular time, how much CPU was utilized, how much RAM was utilized. So if you go to RAM, you see continuously RAM is being utilized almost this much. So here it is telling me the total capacity of this computer. So available is 5.4 GB, 2.4 GB is in use, total size is how much, cache is how much, page pool is how much. So slots used, there are 2 slots on this machine and both of them are being used. So that is what exactly we are getting from here. We are able to monitor our system performance, right? We are able to monitor how my processor is performing, how much RAM is performing, is it performing like maybe once you see when you come maybe here and you find that your memory utilization is 80%, 90%. What does it mean? The memory is maybe not sufficient, you may need to add on, you may need to go for a bit more, right? So similarly, the way we are getting here monitoring of this local machine, similarly we have to also monitor the computers who are running on our cloud. So generally when we talk about doing a monitoring, we monitor what are the things? We monitor CPU. So when we talk about monitoring, we monitor CPU. We can monitor memory, which can be logical memory, it can be physical memory, any memory which you are willing to monitor. We monitor disk, how much disk is full, how much disk is utilized, how much disk utilization is percentage. Maybe if you are writing or reading data, then the percentage go more. When you are writing multiple data at a time, it may go even more. So those things we monitor. We monitor application services. If you are running any application, if you are offering any service through the application, you can monitor that, how it is performing. Then you can monitor the operating system related services. So these are the things we generally monitor. And if it is a local machine, you monitor it with the help of any inbuilt tools or maybe any third party tools. Like if you talk about inbuilt tool, you have task manager, you have resource manager, right? Similarly, you have so many third party tool also which you can download from internet, you can install on a system and it can help you to monitor these things. But what is the major use? Why do we do monitoring? Obviously to understand the utilization of my resource. That can be, for example, if my machine utilization of processor is always 1% or 2%, or maybe my RAM utilization is 1% or 2% all the time, what does it mean? I am wasting my resource. I have paid a lot of money to have that resource, but I am not able to utilize them. So if you are maybe having a virtualization platform, you can make another machine to utilize some remaining resources. What if your resource is being utilized over? For example, your resource RAM is showing 90% utilized, processor is showing 80% utilized. What does it mean? That the maybe application you are running on your machine, maybe the service which you are running on your machine, or maybe your machine is slow. So maybe whatever service you are running, they are consuming a lot of resources, and the resources which is available in your computer is not sufficient or not enough, right? So in that scenario, what we do? we may upgrade our system, we may look for upgrading the RAM size, we may look to change maybe the processor type or something. So similarly, that is what the main agenda is for doing monitoring on the cloud also. But whenever we talk about monitoring, there is also two terms connected with monitoring. So once you monitor, there will be some action of the monitor. Whatever you monitor, accordingly there should be some action which will take a place, plus there has to be some notification also. For example, if your RAM is being utilized more and less 80%, 90%, 95%, so there should be a notification to administrator, so that administrator immediately get to know that, oh, my RAM is being fully utilized, I should now take action on it. Or maybe you can define automatic action also, that what's supposed to happen. So these are the things concerned with the monitoring. So let's have a look at what are the action and what are the notification options we have. So in action and in notification, action can be generally, maybe you can take action that stop that machine, terminate that machine, auto scale that machine, or remediate that machine, or you can just say any of them. So what will be the action if your monitoring is maybe having some special condition, maybe too less, maybe too more? There is a term, there is always a term which is being used called as a threshold, and that threshold term represents the limit, or you can say a specific amount. For example, this is the graph, this is the graph of your processor utilization. I'm just assuming this is the graph, and this is representing the percentage of utilization, and this is maybe the time, this is representing time, and this is utilization. So maybe when you started your machine, it was like 5%, then you have run some application, it went like maybe 10%, then it went maybe like 15%, then it maybe dropped down to 10%, then it may be gone beyond like 20%, like that. So threshold means setting a kind of a specific value. For example, I set a threshold, let's say that at 80%. So this is my threshold. 80% is what my threshold. What does it mean? That this is maybe I have used as a remark or a mark value. So if my machine performance, my machine processor utilization go beyond it, when it goes maybe more than 80%, that means it has crossed my threshold. And that is the condition where I want to get the notification or I want to do some action. So I hope you understood what is the meaning of threshold here. Threshold is some value which you set, and this value can be differ according to the company, according to their requirement, according to their services which they are running over there. So maybe some company can set at 80%, some company can set even at 40%, some company can maybe set at 90%. So they can set a threshold value, and whatever value they have set, whenever this utilization goes beyond it, or they can also set a threshold maybe of down also. So whatever they set the threshold, whenever the utilization cross that threshold for some specific period of time, then they should get a notification. And notification can be through the SMS, it can be through the email, or maybe it can be through web portal alarm or alert. Like maybe we are having a Amazon console. So Amazon AWS console, there you can maybe get an alert or you can get an alarm, or maybe you will be getting an alarm or alert on your email, or maybe you will be getting on your SMS. So don't worry about that. We are going to do practical part of it, that how you can create an alarm where maybe whenever the threshold will be crossed, you will be receiving an email. So at least I will show you this practical. Now we are going to have a look at what is CloudWatch. So I have just talked about up to now monitoring. Monitoring can be done through any number of applications. The way we do the monitoring from task manager, that is also nothing else. We are doing a monitoring. We have resource monitoring tools as well. There are many other tools, but one we are right now talking about is CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is a service offered by AWS. So here you see we have Amazon CloudWatch monitors your Amazon Web Service, AWS related things, resources, and the application you run on AWS in real time. So what does it do? CloudWatch, it is a monitoring service which monitor any resource which you are running on Amazon Web Service with its real time. We can also use CloudWatch to collect and track the metrics which are variable you can measure for your resource and application. We can set a specific metric. We can track that metric. We can collect the information about it. We can do this all task by the help of CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is a AWS monitoring cloud service. In a single line, if somebody asks you in interview, or maybe there is a objective question comes, you may answer that CloudWatch is what? It is a AWS monitoring cloud service. Simply. So now I hope you understood what is CloudWatch is. So now let's try to understand how we can use CloudWatch. What are the methods? So there are two methods of using it. One is basic method, or you can say like a type of using it. So one is basic, which is free. If you are using we are having maybe free tier account, so basic one you can use for free. There will be no any charge to use this CloudWatch service. It will be completely free, no any cost, no any pricing model on it. But there is a problem that it may take like 5 minutes to give you the notification, or to take any action, or to respond you or display the notification on your screen. So it's maybe like you can say it's a bit slow, and maybe some of the feature, if I talk about the difference between other one and the basic one, there can be just 5 to 10% extra feature in the another one compared to the basic. So the second category we have, generally basic is being used for people like us, those who are learning, training, or just trying to practice with it. They can go for basic because it is free of cost. You don't have to pay for it, and only the result will take some time. So you don't have any problem with it because you are not running a server which is maybe offering very big service to any company. For when we talk about enterprise level, when we talk about any organization, they go for the second type, that is details monitoring. So details monitoring is using pricing model. It is not free, so meaning that there will be some cost on it, depending on how many number of time alert you are generating, how many number of time it is helping you, and also on. So you can simply go to AWS site and you can get the pricing, because it will be it is varying actually all the time. So I'm not going to share what exactly the price will be. There is nothing like fixed price for anything. It is always variable, and it depends on the utilization, how much you utilize. So this one, the good point is it may take only maybe up to 1 minute. Within 1 minute it sends the notification, it responds you, it takes the action. So it is a bit fast when we compare with the basic, and it has some extra features as well, but very few features are extra when we compare with the basic. Almost 90 to 95% they are same. Only the major difference is their timing and the cost. So now I hope you understood the basic part of it. That was all about the overview of CloudWatch. What is CloudWatch is, what does it do, what is monitoring, what does it mean, what we do monitor. These all things we have discussed theoretically. So now it's time to go for the practical part of CloudWatch monitoring. So now let's move to the practical part of it. So we are going to do hands-on lab. So for that I need to go to my browser. In my browser I need to access my AWS. So aws.amazon.com. Here I am going to log in with my root credential. So here once we are going to log in, we are going to look for the service today, that is CloudWatch. So that one we can directly search also, or we can look for it in the list. So let me first log in. So we are in the AWS Management Console. So what we are going to do for today practical, that we go to services list, and here you can directly search for it, CloudWatch. Here you see CloudWatch service. It is for monitor resources and application, means it can monitor your resources. Resources means CPU, RAM, storage, and it can also monitor the application. So let's click on it. So here is the list. It is going to tell you in case if you have enabled any CloudWatch. So here you can see alarm you can set in the AWS service on the basis of application ELB, the one we have discussed in last session, elastic load balancing. You can set on the basis of EC2, you can set on the basis of EBS, elastic blocker storage, or you can have a service. This one we are also going to discuss in the next session, simple notification service, that is called as a SNS, or usage. So these are the conditions on the which basis we can set the alarm. So maybe today I want to set alarm on the basis of EC2. So let me first go back, and I have to have any EC2 instance running with me. So let me create EC2 instance first, which you all are very much now good in that. So I will be taking very small amount of time to create this EC2 instance. So simply let's go to launch the EC2 instance. Maybe I use Linux instance, or maybe let us use Windows instance. So I go to any of the Windows instance, 19 base. Let's use 2016 for example. Configure instance. We know these all things, so I'm not going to discuss again. Add a storage, because it is Windows 30 GB. This option you already know. So add tag. Security group. I can make maybe a security group with the name Windows Security Group 01. Windows Security Group 01. RDP is already there. I can leave it, and I can go with the launch. I can maybe create a key for Amazon Windows machine. Launch the instance. So I have now at least EC2 instance on which we can set the alarm. So let's go to view instance. This is the instance getting ready. I give the name Amazon Windows Server 2016. Just maybe leave it like this. So this machine is almost getting ready. It is initializing. Once it will become 2 by 2, we will be able to connect it. So let's go to get password. We just have to wait for a moment to get it initialized. So meanwhile it is getting ready, let's try to now move on. Let's try to see how to set the alarm. So setting the alarm, one option is you can go to again services, the way I was talking about it. We go to cloud watch, we go to that service. Once you are there, you can see how many alarm you have set. So right now it is telling me alarms are 0 out of there. There is no insufficient, there is no any okay. So now we are going to go to the alarm and we see here how many alarms are there right now. So there is no any alarm. So I'm going to create a new alarm from here. Create alarm. When we are choosing create alarm option, the first question is going to come, specify the metric and condition, meaning that this alarm will be working on which basis. What is the metric of this alarm? What exactly you are going to look for that? So I have to select the metric. So click on select metric. Now we have so many metric. Do you want to set this alarm on the basis of application ELB? That is, we call it shortcut like ALB, or on the basis of EBS, elastic block storage, or on the basis of EC2, or you want to set it on the basis of SNS, or you want to set it on the basis of usage. So on which basis you want to, on which metric you want to set the alarm, you want to create the alarm. So for me I am going with EC2 because I want to set alarm on the basis of one or any EC2 instance running there. So I click on EC2. Now within the EC2 we have some condition. So I am choosing here per instance metric. Now you see here, when you go for the metric for the instance, in the instance also there are so many things which you can set as a metric to generate or create the alarm. So on which basis you want to set or create the alarm? So here if you read metric name, metadata no token, or you want to set on CPU credit utilization, CPU credit balance, what you want to set as a metric to generate or create the alarm. So for me maybe I want to go for CPU utilization. So let me just type only CPU and search for it, and in this list try to have a look where you get CPU utilization. Can you see CPU utilization? But it is with no name. Let me look for my instance, because if you remember my instance is having a name. This one is also having no name. So let's scroll up and then we try to check. No name specific. So maybe we just have to wait for a moment to get that machine ready. The machine was not ready yet. So let's just wait for a moment. So after waiting for a moment, let's try again. I type here the conditions CPU, and let's try to have a look here. You see Windows Server 2016, that's my instance name, and here you look for CPU utilization. There will be so many other options too. So maybe I want to set this alarm on the metric of CPU utilization. So I choose this option here. This instance, when it is going to choose the metric CPU utilization of this instance. So I select the metric. So metric has been selected. What metric I have selected? I have used the namespace AWS EC2. Metric name by default it is taking CPU utilization. This is what I have chosen there. And the instance ID is this one. This is the instance I have looked for. Instance name is Windows Server 2016. Scroll it down. Statistics and period, we can leave it right now default. Period is 5 minutes by default. If you try to check here, you can see there are some other condition you can set for period. Let's try to go with first default. The condition is threshold type. Now I have already explained you what is threshold means. Threshold is a value where we set something. So do you want to have a threshold type a static or anomaly detection? So anomaly detection means use a band as a threshold, or here it will be having a value. So let me go for the static where I can set some value, because I go with, when I go with this You see there, outside of the band, greater than the band, lower than the band. So the better, if I don't want to go with the band's limit, I can go with the static, and I can just choose greater than, greater or equal, lower or equal, or lower than. So maybe I choose greater, and I set here the percentage like 80%, 90%, 40%, or maybe just for practical I set on 5%. So the meaning I am trying to tell that if the utilization of my processor CPU utilization, the EC2 instance CPU utilization goes more than 5%, that time alarm should be there, alert should be there, the action should be taken that time. So that is the threshold value. Here you are defining in percentage. So I have choose maybe 5. Any additional configuration right now? So no, I want to just go with the next now. Greater than 5, that is what I have choose. Go with the next. Now what is next? So now next thing is we have to choose the SNS topic. SNS topic, SNS is actually again a service which is called as a simple notification service. This will be helping you to create a notification. It will generate a notification and it can send you somewhere. So for example, if you want to have the SNS service also, you can go with the, if you have already created ever, you will choose select existing. For as of now we don't have, so I will go with create new topic and just give any name. Maybe I am just giving the name Saurav Windows CloudWatch alarm topic. That's the name I have given to my topic of SNS service, and here it is required to put your email ID, so that whenever anything goes wrong with that computer, not wrong meaning that whatever the condition you have set in alarm, for example processor utilization goes more than 5%, then what will happen, it will send an email to that email address. So you will be using your email address or administrator email address here. For me I use maybe my Gmail address, so I will type here my email address. Like this, and click on create topic. Once you will click on create topic, it has created a topic with that name, and you can see it from here, view in SNS console. If you click on it, it is going to open a new window here, new tab, and in new tab you will be able to see the condition of your SNS service. So you see subscription is 1, condition is pending confirmation, the ID is not given yet because the status is pending confirmation. I have set the email address, but who will be proving that? Either it is my email address or I have just used somebody else's email address to maybe disturb them. So because of that reason, it requires a confirmation from your email site. Once you will confirm it, then this status will change. Then its status will be showing you the confirm, and you will get a ID there. So let's do that. So now I go to a new tab and I access my Gmail account there. I access my Gmail account. And you will see that there will be an email coming from AWS. So if you see AWS notification, click on it. The mail has been received, AWS notification subscription confirmation. Here it is telling that you have chosen to subscribe to the topic name is Saurav Windows CloudWatch alarm topic. Do you want to confirm this subscription so that AWS will start sending an email to you whenever the CPU utilization goes beyond 5%, or do you want to not confirm? So by default already not confirm, that's why it is telling me that condition is pending confirmation. So if you want to confirm, what you are going to do here, click on confirm subscription. When I click on confirm subscription, you see there is a green message, subscription confirmed. You have subscribed srisingh.saurabh@gmail.com to the topic Saurabh window CloudWatch alarm topic. Subscription ID is this one given to you. Click here to unsubscribe. Maybe later on you want to unsubscribe or something. So now let's check the condition here. Still showing pending confirmation. Let's refresh because we have confirmed from that side. Now let's try to see a status is confirmed. It has an ID, meaning that now I can close it. I go back to the CloudWatch management console back there. We have set already a new topic, SNS topic with the email address. This is my email address and it is confirmed now. Now you can go for adding the notification. So by default already notification has been set with this. So I can leave it also there like the way it is right now because already all notification is there. Next is auto scaling action. So this will be our next day topic. So in the next coming session we are going to talk about auto scaling. So as of now I'm just going to leaving it blank. Then EC2 action, what you want to take the action. So as we discuss here, when I go back to my slide, we discuss already there that whenever we talk about monitoring, there is two things. One is notification. So I have set the notification that it will send an email to me whenever this monitoring will go. So what I have set the condition, I am setting a monitoring on the basis of CPU with the threshold of 5% only, just for testing, but in company they will be using 40%, 70%, 80% like that. What I am telling that if my CPU utilization goes beyond 5%, more than 5% for a specific period of time, that means I need to receive an email to which email address? My email address, which is srisingh.saurabh@gmail.com, and I want to also have an action. So what action you want to have? What action you want to take? Actions can be a stop, terminate, auto scale, remediate. What action you want to take now? So that is what now we are going to set here. EC2 action. So let's go to add EC2 action and you see these are the options related to in alarm setting. So action can be recover this instance, stop this instance, terminate or reboot this instance. So maybe I want to just say that reboot. Whenever it goes more than 5%, 5% looks like very less, it's funny, but what I am trying to explain you that, for example, you have set the threshold of 80%. So what you can set, whenever your CPU utilization goes more than 80%, you want your system to get restart automatically. It is just a condition I am setting. There can be some other condition also. So maybe I set reboot this instance. Then I click on add EC2 action. Sorry, it has been already added, so let me just remove this. So what are the things we have set? Let's just check again. We have set a notification. Notification will be sent to this email address. Then auto scaling I left it. Then action I have set reboot. After setting this all, we go to next now. Just give the name of this alarm, any name. So maybe I'm just setting that EC2 alarm for what? On the basis of CPU utilization 01. This is my first alarm. You can add any description there if you want and then just click on next. So your alarm is ready now. Your alarm is ready and here it is going to show you the graph and thereafter it is also going to tell you some other information here. So this way we have created an alarm. Threshold type a static. Whenever CPU utilization is greater than 5, then it will be alarm will be working. What it is going to do? It will first do one action. That action is EC2 action. When in alarm condition, reboot this instance, and it is also going to do one more task, that is notification. So what is the notification? When in alarm, send a notification to this topic with the email address, whatever email address you have assigned there. So now just final task is create alarm. So now the alarm has been created. Right now it is telling me insufficient data. So it may take like 1 or 1.5 minutes approx to the state to come into the OK. Right now it is showing me in the list of insufficient, but once everything is OK, it will come to OK list. If your machine cross that limit, it may again go back to insufficient. So we have successfully now created the alarm. Here is the name of the alarm, EC2 alarm, CPU UTL 01. So it has gone to the list of alarm now. One alarm is there. A state now is in alarm condition. Wow. Can you see now? It is in alarm condition now. What does it mean? That it has already gone, maybe the processor utilization is already gone beyond 5%. So if it is true, then we should receive an email. So let me check in my inbox, and you can see now there is a notification has come immediately to my email telling that you are receiving this email because your Amazon CloudWatch alarm EC2 CPU utilization 01 in this region, Ohio region, has entered the alarm state because the threshold crossed. Can you see now? So the IT person, the administrator of the company, maybe is on vacation, maybe he is at home, maybe he is traveling, anywhere he is, he will immediately get an email to his email ID or her email ID, to getting know that maybe the processor utilization is too much, and he may now think what to do now next. He may talk to maybe the another guy who is working in the office, or maybe he can take remote desktop, or he can do whatever he want to do because he has got a notification now. So it is telling that view this alarm in AWS management console. Here is the alarm, the name of the details are here, all the details are mentioned here. So what does it mean? That you are already having one alarm now. One alarm is already there. It is in alarm condition. This is the last state updated. So that means that the utilization has gone more than that. So that's why I set actually the threshold of 5 there, just to show you guys that how the email will be sent, how the notification will be sent. Let's try to check one more thing here. Let me refresh my page of instances. Let me just refresh the page of instances. And let us see here the one more thing. Let me just refresh once again. This machine has been restarted also. Alarm state, it is in alarm mode and it is running because maybe it has been restarted. Let's do one more changes here this time. We can see also CPU utilization here now. At some moment my CPU utilization was at 65.11. Some point of time it was 71.3 and my threshold was only set at 5. So maybe because of that it has already crossed the limit and it is gone into the condition of alarm. Now how we can change maybe the alarm setting? Is there any possibility to change the alarm setting? So let's try to do that. We go to the alarm, we open the alarm, or we go to this option action, edit. Let's see, are we able to change some condition there? So here is the greater than, maybe this time I make it to 60%. So I am changing the threshold value this time 60%, or let's keep maybe just 20%. Update the alarm. So this way we have updated the alarm. Now let's refresh it. We have to check again the alarm condition and the utilization of this machine, CPU utilization of this machine. If it is even again crossing 20%, it will remain there in a alarm status. So right now again it is in alarm status. You can again check here the utilization. So now your threshold is at 20, but the CPU utilization has gone even up to this place. If you again refresh it, you will be able to again see here you have one alarm for CPU utilization. It is in a alarm mode and your threshold is now at 20%. Maybe I want to make it at 80%. So what will be the next task? I again go to edit, and here I'm going to choose maybe this time 80. Update alarm. Refresh it. So it will take some time to remove this status, but now at least the one effect you can see, it is telling that now your condition has been set that if your CPU utilization goes more than 80 for a one data point within 5 minutes, then it is going to generate, it is going to have the alarm there. So this way generally all the companies set some specific criteria for their CPU utilization, RAM utilization, billing, on the basis of billing, on the basis of the application utilization, OS application. There are so many other conditions are on the basis of that they may set the alarm, and when they have the alarm, this is the kind of email they receive and the action will be taken place also. So once we have set at 80, what we can see here that you see now it is in OK condition, not in alarm condition. We have set an alarm, we have updated here, we have the same alarm, but now it is OK because we have said that if CPU utilization goes more than 80, then only the alarm will happen. So now the things are moving well. You can go to the alarm here. It is showing you the alarm, click on it, and you can see the status is now OK. And this is the condition. Right now the utilization is even this much down. So now whenever my CPU utilization will have goes beyond 80% or beyond 80 value, that means the alarm will be again generated. I will receive a notification as well as there will be an action. An action will be restarting my instance. If you want to do some other changes also, you may go to again edit. Here from I can only edit the details related to the metric. Configure action if you want to go for, you can go to next. Maybe rather than having reboot this time, I want to say stop this instance, so I can say an update. Let me make it a bit small again to see the effect of it. So maybe I again go to edit and let's use it maybe for 10% or something like that. Update alarm. So now what threshold you have set? This much, approx 10. So if your CPU utilization will go more than 10, what is going to happen? The alarm will come in an action. It will stop that instance and it will send an notification to the email address. The instance is running right now. So maybe somebody is having a connection to it. Get password. Choose the file which we have downloaded. So I go to my downloads. This is the Amazon Windows machine. Decrypt the key, get the key, download remote desktop file, click on it, connect, password we paste, say OK. So here we are going to get the console of this Windows Server 2016. So let's assume that maybe on this machine I install Photoshop, I install any role there, and that role will maybe utilize your processor more than 10%. What will happen? Rest you know already. So here we are going to get the console of this machine, and our monitoring guy is monitoring through the CloudWatch. They are monitoring that how much my CPU utilization goes and all. So let's try to do some experiment with it. Let us try to go to a start button on it, server manager. You see, internal monitoring we can also check it from the task manager here. So maybe let's go to the manage and let us try to go to add role and feature. Let it get ready. So I go with the next, and maybe I want to install here Active Directory domain service. Maybe I want to install DHCP server here. Now you see, this machine went off. Why it went off? I was willing to do that. I wanted to make it off to just show you, demonstrate you. So you see, the machine went off because of the alarm. It has crossed the threshold. And because it has crossed the threshold, you see here also, if you refresh this page, our threshold is set at 10. It is in alarm mode, you see. Our condition was set here, and you see this graph, blue graph, it was going and it has crossed here. It went like this, 10 point something. Because of that, the alarm took the place, and it must have sent a new mail also to me. You see here, the new mail sent related to the notification. And what has happened with this instance? Let's try to refresh. What you can see, this machine has gone to the stopped mode. So I was just trying to demonstrate this practical there. That's why I choose the condition action to a stop and send the notification only at 10% or something. But in a big company, obviously the condition can be different. They, rather than saying a stop, they may go to reboot, they may go for any other action, and their condition, their metric will be also not like 10 or 5%. It can be like 70%, 75%, like that. So this way we have finished with the all steps. We have seen how alarm works, how it can send the notification, how it can take the action. So now that was all in this particular session. Now it's time to go to the question answer part. So let's have some question answer here. Or before we go to question answer, let me show you one more thing here. Last thing, that if you want to set an alarm, one option I have already explained you by going to the CloudWatch and going to alarm and creating from here. Another option is also there. You can directly go to EC2 instance where you can see all the instances. From there also you get this button, plus button. You can also click on this and you will be able to create alarm from here also. You will be able to define all those settings and you will be able to create alarm from here also. So you can have two options. You can either go to CloudWatch and therefrom you can create the alarm, or you can directly choose the instance and therefrom also you will be able to set the alarm here. So now let's now move to go to the question answer part. So the first question goes to you that CloudWatch is a what kind of service from the AWS? What does it do? Second question is name any two actions, because there are almost 3-4 actions I have talked about. So name any two actions which can be taken by alarm for EC2 instance. Question number 3, SNS. I explained about this service. So SNS can send notification on email address. Is it true or false? Question number 4, that there are two type of threshold. Name them. What are the two type of thresholds are when you are setting an alarm? And the final question from today's session is detailed monitoring is a free service. Do you think it is true or false? Detailed monitoring, is it a free service or is it a paid service? So this was all in this video, and I hope this video was informative enough for all of you, and I would like to thank you for watching.